It's arrived, the two-post lift. Now, I've been waiting for this for about a month, over the moon with it so far, but we've had issues already. The forklift couldn't go under my carport because it was too tall. So plan B, my stepdad came over and helped us. So what we did, we managed to lift the pallet up using an engine crane. We reversed his trailer underneath the pallet, and then we drove the trailer to the bottom of the garden. He does have a front mounted tow bar as well as a rear one, which makes it very, very handy. Then we used the engine crane in the garage basically to split the pallet up, take the posts out and lift them into place. Now they're not in the right place, they're just crudely put down here. So first off, I need to start getting things out of the box and seeing what we've got and seeing what we need to do. Now this is a German lift. These are designed and made in Germany by a company called Busch. And to be fair, they're really affordable if I'm honest. It was £2,200 delivered to my door, which I can't grumble with. And the quality looks fantastic so far. So first things first, I need to bolt up the electronic safety solenoids. There's 4 of these, 2 for each post. They're held on with 4 posi screws. And on the other side, the safety catch hooks onto the solenoid and again screws into place. Again, there are 4 of these, 1 for each solenoid. You'll need to fit the top 2 first to allow you to lift up the arms to fit the bottom 2. These will lock into the top catches and then thread through the cable ropes. The left cable attaches to the right post and vice versa. These level the lift and link everything together. They run through a series of pulleys which are lubricated beforehand. The posts are roughly pushed into place, then I fit the hydraulic hoses that connect the 2 together. The hose needs to be tilted so it's pointing down, and then tighten the hose loosely inside the master post. I fit the 4 control box screws into the master post and then hook it into place. The screws are then fastened securely. The height cutoff switch is bolted to the master post, then the rod is set up accordingly. I set the rod to the shortest setting, giving me the maximum height. The cable feeds through the channel and runs out the grommet. The motor assembly hooks onto 2 M8 bolts and then a further 2 M8 bolts lock it into place. There's a small hydraulic hose that links the pump on the motor to the lift. I line this up and fasten it securely. The wiring all runs through the control box and is fed through the glands in the bottom. The wires are marked up and connect to the corresponding connection block. It does look daunting, but it's quite straightforward to be fair. Right, so it's the next day, and as you can see, it's looking like a lift now. Now, it's not bolted to the floor. I've got 1 bolt in that post there, and I've levelled that side up. And what I've done, I've just put these lower arms in, just have a bit of a measure and make sure my cars are going to fit in okay, which I believe they will. The beauty of these is you can put them in either way because that is longer than that one, so that's designed for the rear end essentially. So I think next thing I'm going to do is just take some measurements, make sure everything looks right, and I can bolt this down properly and make sure it's nice and level and nice and square. Right, so that's 241 centimetres there. And the same there. You won't be able to see too well, but this is flush with this, meaning that's square with that. I've got the 1 bolt in already, so I think I'm going to put the rest of the bolts in on this and then make sure it's bang on level, tighten it to the ground. The lift came with the required concrete bolts, 5 for each side. They require a minimum of 8 inches of concrete, which luckily I spec'd the garage with when I built it. I drilled the holes using my trusty old SDS drill, and I used a new 16mm concrete drill bit from Toolstation. The concrete is very hard, but this setup made light work of it. I keep the vacuum cleaner on while doing so to remove as much dust as possible. The bolts then knock into the ground. I will say these were very tight, but I guess they needed to be. Actually sweating in winter, that's how hard I'm working. Anyway, they're all in. Took a bit of knocking in, but we got there. I just need to torque them up now. They should be torqued to 120 Newton meters. Like so. Right, now I'm going to leave that an hour or so, then re-torque them just to make sure they're tight. But you're pleased to see it's nice and level both ways. So obviously the next job would be to bolt this side. However, I'm waiting for a laser level to make sure it's bang on a line. So in the meantime, I'm going to fill the hydraulic tank up with oil. Obviously the wiring's all done, but I don't want to put the cover on until I know it works. So you've got to take this off, which is some kind of sensor, not really sure. And then undo the cap, put 10 litres of ISO 30 hydraulic oil in, which they do supply with the kit. Right, I'm not going to put it all in because it says don't exceed the maximum mark. I'm near there. I do think once the rams fill up with oil, it'll go back down again, but just in case. I'm now going to turn it on. Well, it's doing something. Right, best get that laser level, didn't I? In the meantime, I fit the arms onto the slave post and use a nut to lift the locking gear out the way to make it easier. The pivot pin slides into place and is held in with a circlip retainer. Again, I lubricate everything as I'm going. The arms have a foot guard that attaches them. They're just screwing with 2 M8 bolts. I actually ended up replacing the small arms with extra long ones. My Aston Martin didn't fit on them. They were an additional £360 posted, but I've had several big cars on the lift since and haven't had any issues, so it was worth it. Next, to refit the control box cover and secure and neaten the wiring. So I haven't been able to get hold of a laser, so what I've done, I've used a piece of string, which is what they actually recommend when installing it. So I put the string on one post and put it to the other and just made sure it's parallel all the way down, nice and straight, as you can see. So this post is perfectly aligned with the other side, so I'm going to drill the holes for the ground anchors, tying them up to 120 Newton meters like we did on the other side. I'll do it off camera because I'm just repeating myself, and then we can do the finishing touches. So we're just going to put some covers on now, and then we're about there. Arms are fitted, posts are tight, very happy. Right, now that's done, guys, I'm going to adjust the cables up. This is only temporary, I'm just doing it just so I can mess about with it really. So to do that, you need to send it up and drop it down onto the locks. You should hear this side click first, which you can do. Click, click. There's like a few milliseconds delay. I'm going to drop it onto locks, and then we can tension these cables. As you can see, it's pretty loose. Now I will finish this with a spanner, but just to get it somewhere light, I'm going to do it with the impact driver. And my understanding of these is they just want to be just nicked. Not going to lock it off yet because I just want to test it. So this side here adjusts the other side, which is why that's still slack. Now go to the other side. You'll notice that's nice and tight now. So again, send it up. And much quicker now. So this one clicks first, and then that one, near enough straight away afterwards, clicks again. So I think that's about right, if I'm honest. These feel nice and taut, so I think we'll leave it at that. Right, next job is just to tidy up all the cables. So all these cable ties need cutting. I want to cable tie the wiring underneath up, make it all nice. And then that is pretty much it. Obviously, I need to do proper electric cable at some point, but that's a job for another day. So let's send it up and have a good look. I removed the lower cover, which gives me access to everything. The hose that connects the master to slave post is cable tied to the wiring, and the wiring is cable tied to the hydraulic rams out the way of the chains. So now I just need to tighten the rope lock nut, and this lift is installed. Next job is to try it with a car. And there we have it, guys. One Nova in the air. Isn't this going to make my life so much easier? So I think that's a very good point to wrap the video up, guys. So if you like the video, please show your support by leaving a comment and subscribing if you haven't already. Next week's episode, we're hopefully going to be making the exhaust for this 2 litre 16 valve Nova. So stay tuned for more. See you later. Bye bye.